It's a beautiful July evening here in Canada, although it's a tad bit chilly. It's a tad bit chilly out here. Do you know what that means? That means it's a little bit chilly. Okay, chilly means cold, just a bit cool, right? So I could say it's a bit chilly out here, or I could say it's a tad bit. Okay, so the word tad means little. Okay, so instead of saying you're a little bit cold, next time you can say you're a tad bit chilly. A tad bit chilly. So tad means little, just like a tadpole. Do you know what a tadpole is? A tadpole is a baby frog. Okay, a baby frog that swims in the water. It doesn't even look like a frog, right? A tadpole looks more like almost like a fish, okay, but it turns into a frog. Okay, frogs are part of a category of animals called amphibians. Amphibians, okay? They can live in the water and on land. Okay, so they're kind of a cool kind of animal. Amphibians. Okay, so a tadpole is a baby frog. Hey, smash that like button if you didn't know what a tadpole was. Hey, take a look at that. The moon. Look at that beautiful moon. I'm just going for a walk here in the moonlight and sort of in the sun. I just watched the sunset, but now the sun is already below the horizon. You can still see the light though, right? Nice sunset. Sometimes you can see the sun and the moon at the same time here in Canada. Very often, the sun and the moon are out together. So, okay, that's the word tad. I also want to teach you another word, which is smidgen. Smidgen or smidge, okay? You can say either smidge or smidgen. They're the same word. They just, it's just two ways of saying the same word, okay? And it also means a little bit. I could ask you, would you like some more ice cream? And you could say, yeah, just a smidge, right? A smidge of cake, or a smidge of ice cream. Or I could ask you, are you feeling cold? Are you feeling chilly right now? You could say just a smidge, just a bit, right? Just a smidge, right? So smidge and smidgen, you can use. There's some mosquitoes out here. So yeah, you could say just a smidgen or just a smidge. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to teach you those two words. Very often native English speakers use those kinds of words, right? Smidge. Can you hear the train? There must be a train over there somewhere. Okay, yeah, very often. Be quiet, train. I'm trying to make a video here. I don't know if the train is going to... The train is just interrupting and mosquitoes are starting to eat me alive. Hey, look at this nice flower. Nice white flower there. Okay, well, I better go back to my hotel room before I get eaten alive by mosquitoes. But yeah, very often native English speakers use words like that, like smidge or tad, and English learners don't use those words very much. So I want to teach you what they mean and encourage you to use those words, okay? So next time you're feeling chilly, you can say I'm feeling a tad bit chilly. Or what's another example of the word tad? Like if I ask you, would you like some sugar in your coffee? You can say just a tad. Just a tad. It means just a little bit, okay? Just a tad. Now in that situation, you could say just a smidge. Yeah, you could say just a smidge, but in that situation, I think it would be more natural to say tad. Just a tad. Sometimes in English, a word, sometimes if there's two words that mean the same thing, I'm being eaten alive here. So sometimes in English there are two words or maybe 5 words or 10 words that mean the same thing, but one word is better than another word in a certain situation. Okay, so if we're talking about putting sugar in your coffee or your tea, I don't know, I would say the word tad is better than smidge, just a smidge. You could use either though, okay? So yeah, so that's an example of how you could use tad and smidge. Now, I was going to mention that very often when we're talking about powdered foods like salt or pepper or what other you know, like flour or cayenne pepper or some sort of salt or seasoning or spices, something like that, there are different words that that people use. It's like cooking vocabulary that I'm going to teach you in the future when I start my cooking show. So very often you'll hear the word a pinch of, okay? Just add a pinch of salt. Sometimes if you look at a recipe, right, the recipe will call for, you know, eggs, flour, sugar, and just add a pinch of salt. Okay, this is what it means to pinch, right? You pinch, sometimes people pinch babies' cheeks like this, you know. I don't know why they do that. Have you ever pinched a baby's cheek? Why do people pinch babies' cheeks? So I don't know. Anyway, so you can add a pinch of salt or a pinch of sugar or something, a pinch of pepper. Now, another word that is used in cooking is the word dash. Okay, a dash. I think a dash is a bit more than a pinch. Okay, a pinch is just a little bit, and a dash can also be used with liquid things like, let's say, hot sauce. For example, you might want to put a dash of hot sauce on your, you know, maybe your hamburger or whatever you're eating. You might want to put a dash of hot sauce on your food, right? You can't say pinch for liquid things because you can't really pinch a liquid, right? But yeah, you could use the word dash for like liquid. Yeah, you could use the word dash for things like salt too. Add a dash of salt. I don't know. You know, there are different words basically for different sort of things in English. Like I said, sometimes one word sounds more natural than others. For example, a pinch of salt. Very often you'll hear that, a pinch of salt, or a pinch of pepper, a dash of hot sauce, you know, or just a dash of, I don't know, what other liquid, maybe a dash of vinegar or something. If you're cooking, I don't know what you would cook with vinegar, but you could add a dash of vinegar or something like that. So anyway, those are the words I wanted to teach you, just other ways to say a little bit, okay? A tad, okay, tad, smidge or smidgen, okay? And if you're cooking, you know, you could use a pinch of something or a dash. You know, in the future, there are so many cooking terms like that. I'll teach you more about those things in the future. But just in this video, I was just walking and I thought, hey, I should teach you the word tad. And tad and smidge. I thought of both of those words. There are probably other words, you know, but I think those two are sort of cool words that maybe you want to add to your vocabulary. So hope you guys are having a great day or evening. If you're here in Canada, it's probably evening for you. So anyway, I'll see you guys over in the next episode. If there is a next episode, unless I get eaten alive. If I get eaten alive by mosquitoes, then maybe there won't be another episode of Mad English TV. But hopefully there is another episode, and I'll see you guys over in that episode.